Okay, well, we're back in this Sidur Rechovot Nahar. I checked also with the Nekudas Kesef. It's really basically a duplicate of what was found in the original Nahar Shalom from the Rashash. But this has always been a really something that I'm trying to understand. Here's what I'm able to gather from this. The world, what you're looking at is actually the Malchus, the Asiya. It's actually not the Malchus of the Asiya. I think it's the Malchus of Atzilus. What happens is at nighttime, Malchus goes down into Malchus of Atzilus goes down into Bria, Yetzir, and Asiya. And there, the idea is that Malchus is supposed to bring Kedusha back up. Now, this is the best I understand of this from looking at the Sfaria and different things in Eitz Chaim. They brought me a lot of things to look at. It's like this. In Olam Zabriya, in Olam Atzilus, we would say that there is a certain amount of Kali there. That is false images. And the Kali really look exactly like the Kedusha. They have a Rosh Tov Sof. They have 10 spheros. They have all the different combinations that we have, but it's in the world of Kali. And now the Malchus of Kedusha has gone into the Kali. And this is what he calls Yakavin La'asos Atzmer Kava. Make yourself a chariot. It means a vehicle, a kisi, and a throne. La'adam de Asiya, the Kedusha, the Adam de Asiya, Kedusha, which is, let's say, maybe, because I'm not an expert at this, but my conclusion is that this is like the chariot came down into your world, into the lower place, the chariot of Kedusha, and it's surrounded by Kali. Hop on and get onto it. So that's kind of the way that I understand this right now. In Olam Atzilus, it seems to me that looking at the Rashash, and once again, I'm a student, not an expert. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, well, what is it? It's all these different combinations of the names Yud K, Vav K, etc. And what does it mean? So I conclude from this that Olam Atzilus is really the formation and the composition of certain patterns of letters, which are also in the pattern of a human being, of a man, Adam. This Adam, he says the Adam, the Sia, the Kedusha. It's all the way down here, he's saying, and the word is Yakavin La'asas Atzma. You should have the kavana to make himself, the person who's saying this, Merkava, a vehicle, the kise, and the throne, the Adam, the Hasiya, the Adam, the Adam, the Hasiya, that's us down here. The Kedusha, to bring that Kedusha down to us. Now, what are we supposed to do with it? Now, the best I could do is just look at it and try to go through them. What he's going to say is like this. This Adam de Asiya, which is the Malchus of Atzilus, which is in Asiya, that's what I think he means, in the lower worlds. It looks like this, and this is what it looks like. If you went into Asiya, into Atzilus, and you could see the formation, because what he's going to give us here is, let's just, before we get into the details, let's just look at the headlines. The headlines is that first one is, this is a triangular formation, is Gugalta, which is Kesser. Then he has the Muach Yamin of Chochma. Then he has Bina. He has the right ear, Ozen Yamin, Ozen small. Then he has the Chitzonius of the, sounds like the Chitzonius of the ear. And the Chitzonius of the, that is the right ear, left ear. This is all the middle line here. Then he has, this is going to be the topic. This is going to be the, start here, the right eye and the left eye. Then it's going to Das Tachton. So this, first of all, he says is the Das Elyon. I missed that part. Sorry, that's the middle line. And this is what it looks like. We'll go over it. And then the Das Tachton, because Das has an extension down to the Chaz of Zeranpin. So therefore, it's extended, and it's going to look like this. Then you go to the next place, So we're going to the chotem, to the nose. So the nose looks like this, and this is the das tachton. This is the chotem, and this is the panemius of the chotem. And remember, so we've seen this so many times that there's a panemius of the chitzonius to everything. Yud K Vav K, like that. Then that's the panemius of the chotem, but the chotem also has a chitzonius, and it looks like this. So 3 ekyas and an ekya havaya ekya. Now let's go over to the mouth. He says, now this, to make myself into a merkava. Here's a Bekisa. He says, Yakavin la'asos atzmoi. Make yourself into a merkava. Join the merkava. I think that's what he means. Attach yourself to this. And he says, the mouth is, he says, well, this is the mouth. We'll talk about these are the 5 different sounds that the mouth makes. And then there's an inside of the mouth, looks like this. And the chitzonius of the mouth looks like this. So he says, and then you have, after that, the word dibor. I'm not sure what that means. And kol, 2 different ideas. Kol and dibor, we'll discuss it. Then we have the right arm, chesed. Left arm is gevura. The body itself is called tiferes. And then it comes down, as we go down the middle line, it goes to the bris yesod, and this is the right leg and the left leg and the bris in the middle. And then finally it comes over to here, to ataras yesod, which is ultimately malchus. And he says elokem, and this is what this looks like. So let's come over and try to look at it more closely now. So we see this is the Merkava. Now my thinking is, from the reading that I was able to do, to try to make the background, because offhand I'm not familiar with the phrase Adam Asiya, the Kedusha. So apparently he means to say that the Kedusha is now fallen inside, or gone, it falls down into Asiya, and it's now inside of the klipa of Asiya. Now he points out, in some of the Meforshim explain like this: the world that we live in is considered to be 80% klipa. It's mostly false ideas. And the world is running around going after all kinds of crazy stuff and getting themselves worked up in this 70, 80 years or 60 years or whatever, as long as a person's life is. And then he's gone, and other people pick up the nonsense. That's our world. So it's 80-20 to the bad. In the world of Yetzirah, it's more like 50-50. And in the world of Bria, it's more like 20-80. And in the Olam Atzilos, it's good, that is 20 bad, 80 good. And then you get, I might have missed something in here a little bit, but the basic idea is that as the worlds go higher, in Olam Atzilos is very little influence of the Klipa. So now we're taking a look at this coming into the Olam Atzilus, Olam Asiya, to the lower world, our world, this formation. And so we already went through the formation. It's basically the face, right? So it's the face, the ears, and then it comes down to the body, it comes down to the legs and the arms and the legs, and so on and so forth. This is the Adam Dasiya. That is the aspect of the Merkava, of the aspect of the light of the Malchus of Asiya, that here we're at the beginning of the morning now, is down here with us. Let's pick it up and write it up. That's what I think. So let's look at them one at a time. He says the Gugolta is a Havaya with comments, and Chochma is a Havaya with Patach. So this is the right, the Muach called Chochma, and the Muach, which is called Bina, is Tseri. Then we go down to the right ear. Okay, this is all this Merkah. This, I guess, is these ideas. We want to make ourselves into a chariot, into a vehicle for going up, and these are the parts. So that has a right ear, It has a left ear, which looks like this is a gematria of, let's say, 2035, and because it enters a little bit different, it's not the regular sag. Sag would be hey yud. So this is 5 short of the regular sag. It's 58 up. That's the gematria of the word ozen, which means ear, and here it is on the right side, same thing. Now in the middle line, is a das elyon. So we're dealing here with, he says, just the milui of the name sag. Yud, K, Vav, K, but just the milui. And once again, on the middle side, so das is split, right? So spot is always the right side of das, and the left side of das is the same. Then it goes down to just taking the letters in the name Yud, K, Vav, K by itself. Once again, we're dealing with the milui, which is the number, in this case, 46. But at any rate, he says the panemius, there's a panemius to the ear, and there's a panemius of the ear over on the other side, same thing. And then there's a chitzonius of the ear, which is a kale havaya. Kale is 31 plus 26 at 57. So he says a kale havaya, and then you have here what is called, I'm just thinking, but my mind wandered a little bit. I was thinking about something else. So Yud K Vav K and Yud K Vav K, again, this is with actually the name Sag. So that's the Chitzonius. And then you go to the right eye. The right eye is Ayin Yom, and the Asiya, he says Gematria Hey Havayos, and here are the 5 Havayos. This is the right eye. This is the Ayin small, the left eye. Once again, 5 Havayos. And then we come to the Das Tachton. The Das Tachton is Menukad like this, as we see it, and there are 2 Havayas. Havaya. Now, we're looking at the Rashash and other places, and we're seeing that the first Havaya, a lot of times, represents the essence of the Moach. And the second one represents a Lavush, which is over the Moach. So let's see how it goes, and then we'll go down a little bit further, and we're still going on the eyes. And he says Yud K Vav K, which is Ben. Same thing on the left side. The Ayin small, the Asiya is going to be all these bends. Then we come to the Chotem. Now, to read the Chotem, how do I do it? We do it like this. The Chotem, he says, well, first he says Nekev Yamin. The Chotem has 2 nostrils. So I don't know if you could read sideways. I had to turn it around. This is the Nekev Yamim. This is the right nostril, and it's a gematria Sag. The left nostril is also the gematria of Sag of 63. Then we come to, that was the Chotem, that was the Panemius. I forgot to read that. Can you read that sideways? I hope you can. So he says, we just saw it a minute ago. You can go back and look at it. It says that this is the Chitzonius. Okay, I'll turn it around. Upside down. Oh, baby. And here it says, this is what the Panemius looks like. It's 2 sags. Again, a lot of times he says, this is the right nostril, this is the left nostril. Okay. The gematria of Chotem, incidentally, is the gematria of Sag. So then we have the Chitzonius, that was the Panemios, which is 3 Ekyas. And the Chotem Imdalad Osius for Hakolel, gematria Chaim. But this is Ekya, Havaya, Ekya. So he says Chotem, with the 4 letters of the Kolel, is gematria Chaim. Now, he shows us here, this is what the Chitzonius of the Chotem looks like. And going back here, he says something else. Chotem, with the Dalet letters and the Kolel, is a gematria of Chaim. Chaim is Mem, 48, 58, 68. im daled osios and the kolel, you make the gematria of Chaim. Why do we have to have this idea? Why do we need Chaim here? We were talking about the things of the face, so he means to say that in the nose is the place of Ruach. Ruach, when you stop breathing, you're dead. Whatever it is that causes us to breathe, whatever we can understand from the Ein Sof Baruch Hu, some little drop of inspiration that causes our lungs to work and our whole body to work like a machine, comes out to be like this. Ekya. So let's see, what is this? This is the Gematria 68. I saw it because it's over there in other places. I just seen it recently when they concentrate on the head filling. It's the same idea. However, this, moving on, I don't know. Now, a lot of places, I just want to point this out, something that I don't know, but if you're looking at this with me, you have to notice at the very top of the page, he has it on the previous page, and it's going to have it a while. He said, Liyiras Hashem. Then he says, Shulchan David. Then it says, Eved Hashem, and the letter Aleph. Then there's the letter Hey by itself. Now, all of these things can be explained, but I don't know them. I'm just pointing it out. And then he has Yud K Vav K, which is the name Ben. And the name Kale Adney, which is number 57, on the Kolo, you have 58. I sort of really don't know what that does. And he says, what after that, that's at the top of the page. It's at the top of this page, it's at the top of this page. As we keep going through this, we're going to see this a lot. But I don't know. This is, for example, Liyiras Hashem. Okay, it's a good advice. Shulchan David, well, that's Malchus. Eved Hashem, I don't know that David HaMelech is Eved Hashem, and then he goes into the Aleph and the K and the Ben and the so on and so forth. At any rate, the mouth. What's mouth? It's a Gematria 85. The Gematria turns out to be the name Sag, which we've been working with, which had to do with the nostrils. We said this is the nose, but also 22 letters. So you could say like this, Sag is above the mouth. That Sag is the nostrils. So you have something going down, and it's becoming more physical because it's being combined with the 22 letters. Now, 22 letters is that what we're looking here on this page is all letters. This is Olam Atzilus, where we're located. Excuse me. And we are located in Olam Asiya. And by looking at this, you realize that in our midst is this. It's here. But we're going to try to bring ourselves and everything that we have within it, which has anything to do with Kedusha, up. Now he says like this. This is it. It's the name Sag plus 22 letters. What 22 letters? Well, the Rav points out, the Ari points out that there are 5 different sets of sounds that are made by the mouth. One is called Acha. That's the sound of the deep throat. Gichak, which is the sound that is produced by the palate. Datlanet is the teeth. Zashratz is the tongue. And Bumov is the lips. Let's just count it up. Does it come to 22? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. These are the sounds that are produced by the mouth. Now, a little bit that I know about this is there are 2 separate deals. The sound that's produced by the mouth, and in this case, would be like the sound coming out. It's just sound. But when you start defining it, it becomes more physical. So sound itself, kol, is usually considered to be zeranpin. And the dibur itself is considered to generate malchus. So then you have the possibility of the yichud there between the 63s coming through the air, coming through the nose, then actually getting pronounced by these names, the Cho, Gichak, Datlanet, Zishratz, and Bumov. So now he shows us what we're trying to get on this Merkava. I'm making myself into Merkava by using this. Panemius Apeh, the inside of the mouth, looks like this. Let's see how we're doing. Okay, it looks like this. It's a yud. It's the name Sag plus the name Ekya 21. Sag is 73. So Sag. So let me just say 63 and 20, 73. It's the number 74. So he says if you take the kola along with it, which is the root of the whole idea from all the way back, he says the gematria peh. And then he shows you another way we could do this. That's the panemius of the mouth. The outside of the mouth is going to be a revua of yud, yud k, vav. That revua is gematria also peh. Now look, we're physical, so my mouth is my mouth. But he's telling you that in the origin of what ultimately is going to become congealed into a human being, this is the origin of it. That's what I think. But look, my opinion. Now, then we have the concept of the kol. That's what I said before, which is the name Yud-Ke Vav-Ke, which refers to Zer Anpen, and then Dibur, which is Malchus. What's a Gibor? Is a gematria of these names. 26, that's the name simple posture of Avaya. Ma is the name of Zer Anpen, which is spelled Yud Vav Dalet Ke Aleph Vav Aleph Vav Ke Aleph. And the word Kal, so it's Ku Ma Kal, which is 130. Ve'eser Osius HaKolel, and you take the comes up the gematria of Dibor, and he shows it to us. Here's the 26. Here's the 45, which is Ma. And here, Yud, Yud K, Vav K, like this is the Ravua of Ma, plus the 10 letters themselves, comes the gematria with the Kolel. No, yeah, Ima Kolel, of the word Dibor. Now, I'm not saying this is something easy to plug into, but this is it. And by looking at it, you get an idea of the direction you want to go to. So now we're going to have the right shoulder. It's a Havaya with the nikud of a sego, which is chesed. The left shoulder is going to be a Havaya with a nikud of shva, which is gevura. The goof of the Tiferes is just going to be Yud Ke Vav Ke with the nikud of a holim. This is a common. The right leg, that was the right arm. The right egg is netzach. These are the nikud for netzach. The left leg is hod. It's the nikud for hod. And the bris yisod is going to be like this, with this kind of a milui. All the vavs, everything coming down. Then we go to the word regel, which is 233. Now, 233 is a number that appears other places. I'm not sure, especially in Kriya Shema Lamita in the Rashash Sidur. And it's probably explained over there, and maybe I could explain it better if I spend some time with it, which I do, but I still am a little bit lost. Regel is gematria av and kasa. So here's, let's see, he makes it into a shilaf. Let's go every other letter. Yud K, Vav K. And then Kasa is Aleph K, Yud K. So that's a shilaf. That's a shilaf of the word regel. The regel refers to the right leg. So he says also on the other side, regel, gematria av Kasa. It's the same thing. Small, this would be the left leg. So he says small is Yud, I think that's what he means, Yud K, Vav K, same thing again, Aleph K, Yud K. There you go. Now we come to the punchline, which is really the terrace of Yesod, which becomes Malchus. And this is what the Nikud of Malchus looks like. It's called Savakos. And he says the Kitzonius of it is a name Elokim. Keser, Chabad, Chagat. He says Chagat No, Yesod, Umalchus. Let's just go over this. He says the Chitzonius of the Malchus, which will become the Nuk, goes along with the name Elokim. The Aleph of Elokim is its Keser. Now the Nuk is in Elokim, which is Lashon Din. Lamed is the Chabad. That's the mochin. And the actually, I guess you would say the brain. Chachot on the right, Bina on the left, Dalet in the middle is Das. Then the never Hey is going to be Hagat No. Is the rest is Chesed, Gevurah, Tiferes, Netzach, and Hod. So those 5 Sfiros are going to be the Hey. The Yud is going to be Yesod, and the Mem, Sofit, Malchus. So this is how you could divide up the Elokim. Now, if you're on the bottom, you're going to be close to the Elokim, and it's really going upwards, but it's shown going downwards. I've just shown as what it is. Let's see that. I didn't read this before, so we'll read it now. Yesha Kosvo Shalo Yakaven Oso Oso, that you're not supposed to do this kavana that is on the Kitsonius of Elokim. For Rashash Kosovo, so but the Rashash writes it. Rak b'hakdoma, but he only has it here at the very beginning. Avacha b'sidur lo sidur also, but in his sidur, the Nahar Shalom, he didn't have it there. Became Kosovo Rav Eliyahu Humani, Humaskanto, She'ein l'kaven ba. So I don't know the reasons why you wouldn't be makaven on it, but that's what it says. Well, this is Baruch. Your Saba here at the Tikkun Elevator, Kolel. Thanks for listening.